You're listening to Spark TV, where we bring you daily interviews with real women in business at all stages. I'm your host, Danielle Lewis, and I am so grateful to have you here. Emma, welcome to Spark TV.
Thank you.
So good to have you. I know our lives have been getting in the way of this chat, so I'm so grateful that we got here. Let's start out by telling everyone who you are and what you do.
Okay. My name's Emma, and I've got a plant styling and landscape design business based in Adelaide. I usually work with architects and interior designers and come up with custom stuff for their projects, all based around plants.
So cool. How did you get into that?
I've had the business for about 10 years now, but a friend kind of had a hotel and she wanted some stuff done for her beer garden. And I had originally studied landscape design, had a break from it for a little while and did some other stuff like visual merchandising and things like that. And then, just kind of did that project with her. And then just from there, kind of continued on with projects. And it was at a time when not everyone was kind of into plants so much as they are now. And then, just kind of.
We'll profess to be like horticulturalists over
Yes,
here.
a nice bit of leaf there.
Don't look too closely. It's so wild, isn't it? Like, I always think, there's so many different professions out there. Like, how do people actually start businesses and get into things? And, landscape design, plant design, it is, it's not the usual one. I'm sure at primary school, no one says who would like to be a landscape designer or a plant designer.
Yeah.
So I'm always fascinated by getting to do stuff that you actually love doing for a living.
Yeah. No, it's been great. I do love it. And I kind of just, created the job myself, I guess, because my competitors, that I guess they kind of offer like a specific, range of pots and range of plants, and that's all they offer. Whereas we'll work with the architects and designers and kind of come up with, whether it's inbuilt planters or just like help them along the way with that kind of stuff. And find custom pots and custom things to suit the space rather than just having like a catalogue of what you can pick from.
Yeah, and I guess how nice for the person designing their home or office to actually get something that they want, not just here are your 5 choices.
Yeah.
I love that. That's so interesting. So what were you doing before you got into that? So obviously your friend needed help with their beer garden, you jumped on it, but like what got you there?
Before that I was working for like a fashion label or fashion company. They had a few different labels and was doing their visual merchandising and their like sets for photography and that kind of stuff. And I guess I'd always kind of wanted to go back to my studies, but I didn't want to go and work in an office like in a landscape firm or anything, like on the computer and stuff. It was just not my jam. But I don't know. I guess I just kind of tried to tie everything that I've had done along the way into something else. And I think I quite like having the flexibility of a business, even though it's stressful and never ends.
Yes, and we have, other duties outside the business.
Frankie.
Why won't this thing come down?
And I guess now I can't imagine like working for anyone else,
Yeah. So you've always been creative essentially and looking at creative pursuits, visual pursuits.
Yeah.
How was that like, turning it into a business? I mean, I feel like sometimes there's a kind of challenge between being super creative and then like the boring business side of things. But I love how you talked about actually you can create something that's flexible that, you do for yourself. Like talk to me about that process of actually turning it into a business.
I guess, like the business side of things is something that I don't enjoy. Kind of, it's a bit of I have to sit down and do this admin today or whatever. But I guess you just kind of get into it. And I kind of just took the opportunities as projects came up. I don't know if it was completely my intention to, start a business like this. It just kind of evolved, and Adelaide is like a bit smaller, which is like frustrating at times, but it's also quite good to network and people are supportive. People start businesses and stuff.
Yeah. And it's interesting. So you didn't have a 10-year plan.
No, I definitely did not. I know I probably should. Now I'm like, oh, I wish I had a 10-year plan, but doesn't mean
No, I just literally cleaned off my whiteboard because I'm like, the plan I had like 12 months ago is already out the window. So I don't know how people have long-term plans. But I kind of think like that's why creative people make such great business owners, because you can actually work in a little bit of chaos and just take the next step, jump on the next project, kind of make it up a little bit as you go, which I love, because I think that's what business is. So many people don't start businesses because they're like, I don't know all of the 100 steps that I need to take. And I'm like, I've been in business for 15 years and I still don't know what the steps are. So like, it's okay.
I know I think you need a balance of both, but it's I mean, I think you have to be a little bit more like on our side, where we're like, you just kind of have to go for it. You have to try, because you don't know. You could plan forever, and if you don't have the opportunities and you don't take them when they come up, then you could have the best business plan in the world, but if it's not,
you don't do
you don't know
anything.
what to do with it.
Yeah. Oh my God, exactly. And I do love that idea of just jumping on opportunities, right? Like, something comes up, give it a go, try. I just feel like there is so much value in taking action, whether it works or it doesn't work, or whether it's perfect or it's imperfect. It's just in the doing that you kind of figure out what you want to do and how the business is going to look.
Yeah.
What do you think's been the biggest challenge for you in business?
I can go to work.
Okay. I guess that balance between like expanding too much and keeping it small, and like staff and things now. So I've got she's a friend, but she works for me full time now. And then I've got 2 other staff members that work once a week and they do maintenance for the venues.
So you have to feed them.
Yeah. It's getting that balance of like, oh yes, do I want to aim for these really massive commercial projects? But that's kind of getting into the realm of maybe, a big landscape firm might take on projects like that. Or do I sit in this spot where I'm in, where they still do some big commercial stuff, but it's not on that other level, I guess. And I guess it's not waiting for projects like that, but it's, there's not always a lot of projects happening. But now I'm trying to potentially, look into state a little bit, like if it kind of works and it was the right kind of project, just to expand a little bit in that way. But I think stay in the kind of space that I'm in with project sizes and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's an interesting conversation about like growth and scale, like, but for what reason? And I think sometimes when you're in business, it's like, I just have to be a billionaire and build an empire. And it's like, actually, you don't. You can do stuff you enjoy doing and make decent money and like be happy.
Yeah.
Because obviously we have little ones running around in the background. So you've also got a balanced family life, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
How's that going?
It's all right. I mean, they're 2 and 6, so it's busy. It's I don't know if it's easy when they're babies or not. It feels like a lot at the moment, I think.
Yeah.
But you kind of just get through it. I've got a supportive partner, but he's got his own business too. So we're both just a bit like under the pump. But yeah.
Do you find having a partner who has a business is a little bit more understanding because they kind of know what it's like in business? Or do you find
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, but then there's also the added stress of both having their own businesses on top.
Yeah,
totally. Sometimes you're like, wouldn't it be nice if you just got paid this much money?
Yeah, could you just get a job, please? Oh my God. Well, I've had both. My previous long-term partner, we've co-founded a business. We were in business for 10 years together. And that was wild, like living and breathing with someone who was in business and also in business together. And my now husband has a job, and like, I'm like, it's so wild. Like he just goes off to work in the morning at 6 o'clock and I don't see him until 6 p.m. and tells me about his day, gets the paycheck, takes holidays. And I'm like, what is this life that you live? But it's actually nice because there's such a little bit of removal. Like he's kind of like high up enough that he knows business and questions to ask and all that sort of stuff. But it's so nice to have a conversation that's like elevated, not like in the, oh my God, this person did XYZ today. It's a little bit more like, what's the business doing, like strategy, that kind of stuff. So I'm not sure which one I like better, but it's always an interesting home dynamic with businesses.
Yes. How long have you had this business for?
So Spark has been around for 5 years.
Yeah.
And yeah, my previous business was probably about 10 years. And then there's been another couple like just short spin up and exit kind of businesses. So
yeah,
yes, I couldn't imagine life not in business as well. You know, it is wildly stressful, but I agree. It's so nice to just work on things that you like working on, create your own hours, all of the things. It's a bit of a balance between the good and the bad, I think, with business.
Yeah.
Oh, so good. So good. So how do you make those decisions? I mean, do you, in terms of scale, where you're like, we could go over, after the big commercial jobs, but really, we want to play here. Like, how do you kind of think about your business and the vision for it?
I mean, at the moment, because I think I've had the business for quite a long time, and we do have such good relationships with architects and interior designers that are working on those kind of projects anyway. Like a lot of them come to me anyway for the projects. Like I wouldn't say I'm hustling to get projects. I mean, in a way I am, like in the interstate world a little bit. Which might be just a can of worms that is stressful and don't need, but we can deal with that as it comes up.
We like to do that a little bit. Sometimes just dabble in a bit of stress and then pull back.
So I guess that I've been lucky in that way that, a lot of them do just, I've got a bit of a name now in Adelaide as that, if you want some plants and stuff like that, you can chat to Emma. So that's been really nice, and just to have built up those relationships with those people. And then I guess some other things have been coming up where, like quite a good landscape architecture firm, we just had a coffee the other day, and he was saying that they often, it blurs into the indoor plant space as well, but they don't really want to do that as much. So we've kind of talked about teaming up, where if he's got a project, then we could collaborate on it, and I'll do the internals, he does the landscaping, and then, potentially vice versa. So yeah, I think with kids and just like where I'm at the moment in life, it's, yes, I want to expand, and I do have a bit of an itch to like just do a bit more, but at the same time, the power in like collaborating with people, I think is great as well,
Yeah, and interesting that you say that. So building relationships, collaborating with others, and you kind of have a stream of business coming through to you. Do you think that has been literally your sales and marketing strategy, is to build relationships with the people out there having those conversations?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess I've never thought about it like that, but yes, probably
that. I know, but interesting, like, again, comes back to we don't have a 10-year plan, but you kind of go, okay, where are the people, build great relationships. I think sometimes people think, oh my God, I don't want to do sales. Well, actually, a lot of women in business say that, but it's like, it doesn't have to be shit. It can just be, where are the people talking? I will be a good person and great at what I do and build good relationships, and then people will recommend me. And that's a sales strategy. I love it. Yeah. Well, and it's obviously working, which is phenomenal.
Yeah. Oh, it's good. It's Adelaide's, I mean, it's good. It's a funny place. Sometimes feels like a big country town, but then there's still things happening slowly.
Yes.
And then, I guess one thing to kind of, bring another creative outlet was I've been playing around with different materials. And so we did a big project for a place in the city, in Festival Plaza, and we made all these planters out of like a hemp and bioresin. So we kind of got the architects to change their mind from using like a concrete, which was fun. And that was, I guess, in the bigger kind of commercial space as well. So even just having some, conversations with those kind of clients was good, and getting them to, I really didn't think they'd say yes.
Do you think you'd ever go into like products, like physical products?
I am working with a company in, I think they're in Mullumbimby. They make like, I've actually got them here. I've got to send them to architects, but this is in my video. Anyway, it's like you can kind of see.
Oh,
This is made
cool.
from like paper, like cellulose kind of waste, paper waste, or they have a few different other things, and
Yeah.
water. And I think I don't know how they do it, somehow in like a mold, but we're doing like a range of cylinder planters
Cool.
with them, which will be fun. Because again, it's like yes, I want to push some more like sustainable kind of pots and things like that, but I also want them to be of a certain design level as well. And a certain aesthetic. And just because we often can't find things that we want for projects, I was like, maybe I'll do a small range of our own pots. I mean, it's a bit of a risk and it's a bit of a financial like burden that I probably
don't need
right now, but
love it, says the entrepreneur.
I'm gonna do it anyway.
I love it. I mean, it's so fascinating. I have a bit of a bee in my bonnet about like sustainable things. I feel like one of the biggest barriers to people getting on board is aesthetic. Like if things just looked prettier, people wouldn't think like, because I feel like you want people to, yes, we want to make good choices to support the planet, but we also want people to want it to be commercial where they don't even think about it. They just select it and they're doing good without even knowing they're doing good. And I think the problem is like, I always use the toothpaste example. If you ever buy healthy toothpaste, it's shit, if things just like were a better experience, I think so many people would choose sustainable far more often than they do.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's like I won't tell people that they're what they're made of until like, get really nice professional pictures, do all that, and then be like, and they're it's like, because there are some really beautiful pot options and stuff like that, but there's like, the cheaper fiberglass ones we use, or then it jumps up to, like $3,000 or $4,000, spun aluminium pots, which are great, but I mean, mine will be in the middle of that. They'll be, like $1,000 kind of range, which is still expensive for someone to buy a pot. But I think in the architecture space and that, maybe it'll fit like for the right project.
Yeah. Well, and that's it, isn't it? There's all different levels that need products and services. So, you don't have to cater for everybody, but, finding that niche and delivering a product that is of, your values that aligns to the customer, like that's where it's at, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so cool. I love it. I love it. Well, this is exciting. Now, I always love to wrap up these podcasts with one last piece of advice. So, reflecting on your time in business, what would be a piece of advice that you would give to another woman on her business journey?
Oh, I think just go for it. Keep going.
Totally.
I could not like, I don't know. Even if it feels like you like want to quit it all and it's not working, I think just keep persevering. If you love it, you'll kind of make it work. I think, if you do, and you must have a business kind of entrepreneurial element if you're starting a business anyway, or you just wouldn't do it, because not everyone has that personality. Yes.
Because she's buying Frankie's shoes.
Puppy,
oh, so cute. But I couldn't agree with you more. It's like someone gave me the advice, just keep going. I think it was like a shareholder or something back in the day. And I was like, that's literally like the only thing that's like gotten me through. It's like literally days will be shit and it is really hard. And the only thing you're supposed to do is not quit. Literally, that's the only name of the game is don't quit. There's also a good one, Denise Duffield Thomas, who's like a money mindset guru. She always says when you want to quit, like, and burn your business to the ground, just don't do it in that day. Because you'll always find like you'll wake up in the morning and you're like, oh, okay, I'll keep going, So when you feel like that, just don't quit today. Wait till tomorrow. And I'm like, well, I can procrastinate like nobody's business. So I can get on board with that. Oh, so good, Emma. Thank you so much.
Nice to chat.
It was so lovely to chat with you. So excited about your business. Thank you for sharing your story with the Spark community. And thank you for the advice. I'm going to carry the keep going vibe into my business day as well. That wraps another episode of Spark TV. Shout out to Spark TV sponsor IP Australia for their amazing support of the Spark podcast and women in business. And if no one tells you today, you've got this.